Okay, I worked with an actor who was obsessed with getting their favorite line in the show perfect. They said they were going to deliver the line perfectly. I'm not sure where this came from, but I do know that perfection is something that just kind of gets in your head and makes you think that there's this exact way of performing something. Exacting to the point that it has sublimeness to it, or is so incredibly profound that someone can't help but see it or hear it and think to themselves, by God, that was perfect. And that is what I believe needs to be left to the audience and to the director or to the choreographer or to the designer. Being an actor, I believe you need to compartmentalize perfect. I think perfect is a trap. A perfect performance, a perfect line delivery, a perfect hitting of a note. And it doesn't fit in with the mindset. That mindset of embracing what happens and exploring possibilities rather than absolutes. Perfection is an absolute, but it's still in the eye of the beholder, to coin a cliche. If we're rehearsing, if we're performing, that stuff has to live in whatever context it happens. It happens the way it happens, right? If you've got perfection in your mind as you're trying to play a scene or as you're trying to figure a scene out, you've trapped yourself. You've put yourself in a box. Now, the director may use words like, I need this to be perfect, or I need this delivery to be perfect. That's their prerogative. When you hear that as an actor, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to be precise. Because this is in the eye of the beholder. What I think is perfect is not going to be what the director thinks is perfect. What I think is perfect is not going to be what the director thinks is perfect. Therefore, I will try to be precise as to what the director wants from this moment, from this line, from this song. Going back to that story, that particular actor, every single performance, flubbed that favorite line. Every single performance. There was something kinetic or cosmic or whatever it was, something in their memory that put that little perfection vampire in their psyche, and they flubbed the line every single time. And that's where I got that lesson. It's just, okay, I don't need to be perfect. I should be precise. Especially if, well, I shouldn't say this because I could never do it. If you're doing choreography, if you're doing Fosse, if you're doing Pippin or Chicago, you have to be precise with the choreography. In other words, perfect to what the choreographer wants. Perfect to the director's point of view. Which is a hard thing to do. But as you're rehearsing and you're performing, if you let that little vampire in your head, that little vampire of perfection that's ready to trap you and make you flub, or make you go up, or make you or keep you from focusing on the scene. That's something that training and experience helps you avoid as much as possible. I'm not saying it never happens again, but when it happens, you can deal with it better by giving yourself a tactic or something physical to do to get you back in the scene. Another story.